Joined once again by the President and Vice President of Cancom, Ken, Paul. How are you guys doing?
Great, thanks.
I want to delve right into access control. And what is it all about? So you have no idea. You thought I knew, right? What's this guy talking about? Well, I have the questions, you have the answers, correct?
That's correct.
That's what they told me.
Well, think about access control. In the old days, it was controlled by keys.
Yeah.
Today's access control is an advancement to that system, where, if you lost a key back in the day, you rekey a whole building. So they've come with these solutions where you can either use a thumbprint, a card, or your face to gain you access during certain times in certain places within a building, and then have an audit trail of that transaction.
So everyone's always on record, on file, no matter what these days. You keep track of everything.
But it's more for a safety concern. I mean, and again, if you're in a building and something happened, you'd want to know who's in the building.
Of course, yeah. Can we talk more about the components of what's involved?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Paul, you want to?
So as buildings get more expensive, like Ken said, the old way was to just put guards in there, and that's very expensive.
Yeah.
Holidays and benefits and everything. So automation is key, and part of that automation is access control, making it so that there isn't 24-hour security there. And like we just talked about, you want to track who's coming into the building, who's trying to get into the building that shouldn't be there. And like Ken said, where are they in the building in case something happens, a fire, a bomb threat, things like that. It's all very important information, but also keeping that information secure and having the ability to audit that information for whatever reason that you might have in the future.
So with your company, you don't only know who's going in that building, but you can pinpoint their spot in that building, when they're leaving that building.
Absolutely.
This is all important, significant information.
Definitely if there's sensitive areas in a building where you don't want somebody to be in, yeah, absolutely.
And what would happen if that person is caught in that area? What's the next step?
Well, we could do anything, but generally it sends an alert to security because, we are all about the hybrid approach, right? We think that technology combined with the manpower makes the best security program.
Guys, can you speak of the emerging trends around access control in the market today?
Absolutely.
Yeah, like because of COVID and other things happening, you have to have things that are touchless. So we're going from a card reader that you present a card to, or touch with your finger, or use a retina scan to, okay, you're going to look at the reader, and it's going to look at your face, and it will determine to unlock or keep lock that door.
Wow.
And in combination with RFID technologies, you can put tags on almost anything and track the whereabouts. So if it's leaving your premise, or where people are, or if you have transport trucks, so it's automatically tracking these assets.
Did living through this pandemic over the last couple of years, did that help you out? Did that teach you something about what needs to be done in terms of this whole approach?
I think it taught society. Security has always been access control. Security of a building, the perimeter is the most important part. And what happens inside is policy, whatever. The perimeter is the most important part. And access control was the first kind of line of defense, and that's been around a long time. We sell multiple products, but we don't go as a product-based type of sales. We go in as a solution type basis sales. So we will apply a product after we find out what the solution should be.
Ken and Paul, what's important to consider before investing into this whole access control system approach?
You got to research. You've got to sit down with your client and any other parties that are part of the team that looks at it. And you want it to fit your needs. You want some scalability so you can grow with it if you have more buildings or more tenants move in. And like all systems, it's got to be easy to use. If it's difficult, nobody will want to use it. They'll hate it. So the key input from all the players, the clients, et cetera, is important to arrive at a solution that everybody's happy with.
Can we speak about the future of what this all looks like?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the access control systems are taking kind of the direction of the network, the Silicon Valley, right? A lot of these now systems are software based, so they evolve.
Right.
So instead of like, the old systems every 7 to 10 years you'd have to replace. Nowadays it's a software base that it grows. They add obviously different modules, and it can grow with your business now. Now there's usually some SLAs with that, so that's something to be careful before you purchase one. What you're kind of and you have to decide. How much you're willing to pay, because the service level agreements are an annual commitment to get the software upgrades, to get the cybersecurity, to get all those kind of evolving technologies. So
there's just way more to this industry than I thought. I'm thinking security guards, security systems, there's just, it never ends with what is possible out there and what you guys as a company can provide to your clients.
Absolutely.
What can a customer expect when Cancom designs and implements the access control system?
You can expect a true transparent partnership where we really want to hear about what their needs are, where they're going to be in a few years, so that we're keeping that in as a part of the design. And how many users, how many areas of the building that need to be access controlled, how many users of the system. So there's a lot of information that you just can't have in one meeting, but you really work with architects or tenants or the building manager, and you want as much information on them as possible so that you're getting the best solution to them.
When a client signs up for a system like this, I can't see it being a flash in the pan type relationship with you guys. No. They want this, and they want this for years and years into the future.
Scalability is everything right now with growing companies, right? They don't want to reinvest in technology. And a lot of the current access control systems now share technology. So if you don't like one, you don't have to throw all the hardware away. You just change the software, and it'll work with any of them. So that's really the emergent trend. Nobody wants to be tied into some proprietary type of software or system anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to re-watch this segment because a lot of this technology, software, hardware stuff just went whoo! But a lot to learn and a lot more to learn on the next Cancom Talk.